Hello, RC playing people. My name is Pooley, and I'm taking a look today at the new 2025 Eratix. Really big box. For such a small present, very huge box, like big. Bigger than the A10, bigger than anything, but you are kind of using all the real estate, so you can't really complain too much. There's about an inch on either side of the packaging. There was tape draped across here, but I went ahead and took that off because I didn't want to waste a lot of time with that. You got your traditional manual. It's inside a little plastic bag, small manual. And the funny part is, when I first saw these things years ago, because there's older versions of this, I was like, man, that thing looks like a piece of crap. But now, since I maybe been in the game for a minute, I know a little bit more, and I know that this is probably going to be fun for me. Really, I don't know how this pop-off prop thing. Oh, look, it's a quarter turn to pop off. I mean, to pop on, and then I guess any kind of pressure would pop it off. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, of course, all your electronics is all exposed right up here on top. It's got an open port for probably lights or something. There's usually a port on these things for lights or whatever. The Electrix does. You got your two servo plug-ins. They're easy to get to. You got some bracing. You got these little wind deflectors or generators or side force, whatever they're called. And these struts are going through them. It's all well thought out coming into this little brace in the middle here. This is the weak point of Eratix on the medium size. I ain't gonna say full size because you think the full size is the newest one they just came out with versus this one. So the battery just finished charging. So yeah, there's not much else I'd want to say about this. It looks really cool. It's super lightweight. You crash, it's probably all bets off. But I guess we'll see. It's got the prop-off prop, so maybe that'll give you a little bit of a resistance of too much braking. The wheels don't really roll much. I don't know if you're gonna this is not the kind of plane you really want to take off with. If anything, I might see how it goes, but I might just remove these all together because you end up busting this little center section on the bigger version. You bust the center section out when you do have a folly, because the landing gear is like your weakest point. Now these landing gear have some flex to them, but I feel like it's going to be the same threshold where you're going to bust that centerpiece out. But I bought this so I could fly in front of my house. It got a nice little front yard area, as well as the back, but I'm sure I'll find the pool before it's over with in the back, so it'll be more of a front yard, which is not ideal because people can see you. RC people, we know how it is. You don't want to fly where people can see you because that ends up being quite the threshold. They're aggravating. Look at that. I just set it down and it's bending right there. So yeah, you're gonna have to be real careful with it, delicate. This case, as big as it is probably appropriately sized, and you're gonna have to be careful and keep it in here. So as soon as I can get outside and give you guys a look at it, I will. I don't think there's going to be a smart file because these little small speed control / receiver / safe mode are all built into one. They don't really have the updated technology, but this is brand new. I don't know, the B2 didn't have it, so I doubt this is going to have it, but I'll go ahead and get into it and see if it does. Alright, I'm going to go into a mod. I'm going to hold down. I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to hold down here, 3 dots, add new model. There's not going to be a bind and fly. Let's see what the manual says. Let's just do it by the book. NX IX series. Probably end up flying this on my NX, but anyway, for right now I'm setting it on the IX. DX IX. Open airware. Turn off RF. Ask for permission. Select the upper right corner. Add new model. Okay, we're there. Model options. Default airplane. Create. All right. Acro. Press the back button. Return to the main screen. Aircraft type. Ask permission. Turn RF off. Proceed. Wing type. Select normal. It's gonna be normal already, so I don't know why would you have to select that. Press and hold the back arrow. Go to adjust menu. Aileron. Okay, rates. So it's no bind and fly stuff going on. So I'm just gonna hit this airplane, create, hit back. The RF came back on. This is it. I'm gonna hit that, hit proceed. I always get confused around this part. Like, what are you supposed to do? Proceed. We'll go ahead and take the picture because it's aggravating me. I should have followed the directions because I'm sure the little complete recipe of which way to go in a situation is probably apparent in their directions. But I usually just fumble with it until I figure it out. All right. Model setup, aircraft type. I think it's supposed to select and turn off. You're supposed to name it first. Press and hold the back button. Nope, it says aircraft type. Wing normal. I don't know why would it tell you to go in here. That's stupid. Then select model adjust. All right. Model adjust. Rates. And I'm gonna go ahead and just set up the rates. This is gonna be I hate when I set it up perfectly to be on camera. In some kind of way I end up off camera. But I want people to be able to see what I'm doing, because a lot of times I have just been disgusted watching other people's videos because they don't show you what to do. So in case you don't know how to do the rates, right here it's gonna say the rates are in the book the way they want you to do it. So right there you see rates, F switch, aileron, C switch, elevator, G switch, rudder, throttle cut. All right, so I am probably I do use the F switch for aileron all the time. So I'm gonna hit right here where it says on. I'm gonna hit the switch. All right, so now I got it selected. So it's in the up position. That's gonna be the highest rate. 150. Now this is one of the few aircraft that I have seen come with a high expo rate, like 50. But for a 3D painting, which I learned the hard way from doing, definitely need it. Then it's gonna go 70% and 30. So there's only two rates. So I have a 3-position switch. So I'm gonna go 40. And these will all change. Go down to 90. All right, so then 70. And 30. I went backwards there. All right. I'm definitely, so that's how you set your rates. I'm going to set the rest of them, but that's just a tutorial how to do it in case you need to know how to do it. Then after that, you'll just hit back and you're done. So I'm going to set the elevator and the rudder. You don't need to see that. It's the same procedure, just different space. So in the same model adjust menu, I'm going to hit throttle cut, switch. I'm going to activate this. I don't like the way they come from the factory. I like my stuff set up the backwards way, so I've changed it. Got my picture of my model. The next step will be binding. So I couldn't find what I was looking for as far as how to get to the name in it thing, so I'm gonna just try to figure it out. I think it's short press, so you just tap it one time, you go to proceed, so then you scroll down to your model and you hit it. Yeah, that's it. And then you can click on this. Now you can enter. I don't have another Eratix, so yeah, we'll just call it Eratix. Alright, got my picture on the screen, got everything there. Now to binding. Binding instructions. There we go. Unique binding instruction control. Make sure your battery connect receiver LED typically rapidly in 5 seconds. Alright, it rapidly blinked red. Now I should get red and blue. Yep, red and blue. So then I'm going to hit bind.
Binding. Bind complete. DSMX 22 milliseconds. Telemetry.
Alright, it only twitched one time, which means there is no safe mode. Then it goes into V Smart Technology with round receiver. I see the little smart thingy right up here now. So then we do have our smart technology. So then I'll scroll over here. Got my battery percentage. I'm gonna just kind of configure this to lowest cell volts. Apply. So at 411, I like the people like this percentage thing. I don't know what the deal is with that, because to me that's aggravating to keep up with. Whereas I know 411 is, you know, these little small batteries kind of drift a good bit. So that's a pretty well charged battery at this point. I did charge it way too fast though. So I was doing a video, wasn't paying attention, had it on 1.5. Not good for your battery. I was trying to be at 0.5. You know how that goes. All right, let's get the smart technology thing. We do have our telemetry, so get back to the main screen. I'm gonna check everything. You guys can't see it. Right up. All right, so let's go rudder. Nope, that's elevator. All right, got my throw. That elevator throw is still not as much as I would like it to be, and it's a little bit. Oh, it is level with the aircraft facing about there. That's weird. But I'll fight like that and see what's what. Might be something that they did in the factory. These are not the easiest tests. I guess there's a ball joint on here, so these are easy to adjust. I was about to say these aren't the easiest to adjust servos, but now there's ball joints on it, so it looks like it's doing some safe mode stuff. Yeah, which you're gonna quickly override. So you saw this thing turn from that to that. So this is safe mode, and this is off. Oh, no sound at all. So I don't like that. I don't know why would they put the landing gear switch as safe mode. They do that on birds that don't have landing gear. To me, that doesn't make sense for a person to start getting muscle memory of, because when you do fly the other aircraft, now you're thrown off. This is the switch I prefer for safe, so I'm gonna go in here and do that. Man, they do it consistently for years. I'd like to talk to somebody at Horizon and find out why would that be a thing. So right now, gear. Let me go back to the model.
Holds 1.
Of course, there will be a hold when you go out of that. Yep, it's gear. So back to here, channel assign, gear. I don't want to change that. I want to change safe mode. So, channel port. Can't. Sometimes I get thrown off when I haven't done it in a minute to figure out how to change this, because you see how you can't change it. It says gear and it does give you that input, but you can do it. I just got to look for it for a minute. Give me a second. I didn't even need a second, because it occurred to me that there's this little clicky thing up, and the next page of the manual is the clicky thingy that you do. Safe technology. So if you hold the 2 sticks in and you click the button 5 times. First, I got to get out of the setup I was in. All right, holds 3. Nope, that didn't do it. So let me figure it out. So the little tricky of holding the sticks in, which I hardly ever use. I haven't had a UMX in a while, so excuse my ignorance or my slow catching up. But I'm going to go back to channel assign. I'm going to hit this. I know that this switch is assigned to channel 7, right? So channel 7, switch B. Yeah, aux 7. I need to figure out how to get this to 7. So gear. And let's just go to 7. So number 5, switch B, aux 7. So I'm gonna back up, back up, get out of my holds. All right, so then now I'm gonna give it some input, and you saw that I switched it. Oh, you couldn't see that, so I'm gonna push this a little bit forward. All right, so now my selected switch, that red and blue, that's safe mode. This is safe mode off. And you can always tell, because if you hold your stick in one position, you'll see it move like that when it goes into safe. And the third position does nothing, but I still prefer to have it where it does it. I don't think I can configure it because I can't get into forward programming. If I could get into forward programming, I could make all the way down safe. I could make the middle AS3X, and I can make this one that's back to me. I could make that be where all systems off. But in this aircraft, I don't think it's going to matter. But anyway, that's how I switched it to the correct location. So you can see now my gear is doing nothing unless I had landing gear. And my safe mode is active. So that will be my full setup. I have never spun the prop though. Let's see.
Timer start. Timer stop.
Ooh, the dreaded timer start. Timer stop. Go in here. Go into here. Let's go to, I don't remember how to do it, but I'm gonna find it because I despise it when you're flying to hear her say that 10,000 times. Timer alerts. Timer start. I'm just going to go ahead and click this voice thing. Go down to none. Timer stop. Voice thing none. So now, still on throttle cut. Nothing. She's quiet. I'll leave her say timer reset. That's no problem. All right. Now let's spin the prop. Oh, it doesn't sound like. Seems pretty powerful. I'm excited to try this out, folks. I'm a bit maybe concerned about my rudder, my tail. I don't know. It's straighter now with AS3X and safe off, but when you turn safe on, it goes way up. You saw that? See how high it is here? Now watch it go down. See, it's level off. So I don't think I need to adjust it because it's correct in the off position. If anything, slightly high. I'm going to try it first. Because, of course, the bird needs to be about level. But it's still up high even when I level the bird. The only way to get it to completely level is to have the bird at a down angle like that. Yeah, look at that. So if I level the bird, that's level. You can see how far that surface is off. Now, if I go down at a stupid angle, then it's right. So I'm gonna fly it, see how it is, you know, kind of go from there. But probably gonna include all that on one video. I don't want to have two videos just for that. But that's a super long unboxing and just kind of taking a look and setting up in your radio, giving you everything you need to do if you bought this thing straight out the box. That's all I gotta say. Pooley out till I fly. All right, folks, it's Pooley. It's a windy day, so I'm not going to the field, but I do have the Eratix in my hands. And as you can see, that tail is giving a lot of, you got to get it at a downward slope a little bit before it kind of looks level and safe. So I'm kind of worried about that, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with it. Windy day, so I probably shouldn't be flying it at all, but I'm not out at the field, so just at the house, kind of see what's what. So the wind's coming from that way. As we have the plane oriented, I'm a bit nervous, but this is the maiden flight. All right, we got some juice. Oh, it rolls. I didn't think it would roll. All right, it kind of twitches a little bit. I hope I'm getting some of this on camera, because it's hard to film yourself. I just recently crashed that F-35 because I was filming myself. It's very twitchy up and down, and it does turn good on rudder, as most of the 3D birds do. So I am kind of nervous. I don't fly outside my house much because it's not the biggest space. I got this little dip right there. I was flying the Eratix not too long ago, just trying to, you know, fly at home type deal, and that went well. Time remaining 4 minutes. I feel like I gotten a lot better since I first tried to fly in my neighborhood. So if you're wanting to know if you got about the amount of space that you see me flying in right now, and you want to try to fly the Eratix, Eratix, I'm gonna walk down here a little further, because my neighbors have a large area in the front of their house. Whoa, almost hit the van there. Right here on their front, it's probably more space than it is in other areas, so I'm gonna probably try to come around. So I'm gonna flip it off safe. It's a little bit twitchy. I don't know what that's about. I guess you could probably see it in the video. See that? But it's the wind. You know what? It's the AS3X in the wind, because it shouldn't be that bad. All right, flipped off safe. All right, got a little worried right there by the tree. All right, I'm gonna try to come over here. Time remaining 3 minutes. All right, yeah, I could have hovered, but I got a little scared. It's a little tight quarters for flying. There we go. So I did hover it on the maiden flight. Oh, and a wind gust slammed me into the ground. I don't know if you guys got that, but I was in full flight and just slammed down. Sheesh. Well, a wheel pant is broken. I don't even see it. That had to happen while flying because it's not right here. Yeah, it's way too windy for this. It totally slammed it in the ground, but the bird is in good condition. Didn't take any damage for such a hard slam. I mean, it slammed it down like, get out of there. So this is gonna be a good viable option for me to practice and try to get better at my 3D around the house here, but probably not in these windy days. If I can get another flight in, I'll probably just try to add it to this video. Otherwise, that's it. That's the maiden flight, and I think it went well, other than the wind. The wind just really took control of that situation. So the little board inside the Eratix, it does give you some good info. So you got your single cell count, your ESC amps, you got your pack voltage, the temperature, And, you know, of course, your battery meter. Everybody likes their percentage. I really like the lowest cell count more than the percentage personally, but, you know, everybody likes what they like. That's all I wanted to add on to that. So on my other Ultrix, the bigger one, I gave it away now to James. These things almost got taken out immediately on the big one. And I suspect because this one broke. And I looked all around on the ground. It's crazy. This thing broke and I didn't even... It had to happen while I was flying. I did a little touch and go, but I didn't see anything on the ground anywhere. It's weird. And even though I didn't think these wheels would roll, they have loosened up some now with the touch and goes. So, yeah, Eratix, little one. Hey folks, Pooley, I'm out here at the field. It ended up being a decent day coming, which it was raining just 5 seconds ago. But anyway, the sun's coming over the tree line. Might be fairly decent in a minute. In the first video at the house there, I covered that one of the wheel pants was missing. I look all around the house. This was in the box. So know that this broke before I even flew the plane. So I'm like trying to figure out, because you saw the little crash I had. Basically, the wind just slammed it into the ground. It wasn't like a real crash. It was just like flying straight and then boom. So that didn't do any kind of damage. I'm like, I looked all around the immediate area. There's no parts. I'm like figuring out what's going on. I'm killing myself. It was inside the box. When I opened it up this morning, I'm like, there it is. So anyway, they're delicate, yada, yada, yada. Let's go ahead and get this thing. So that's the Eratix. That's what it looks like on the runway. We don't have much wind right now, but it is kicking up fast. It's been super windy every day. You saw at the house what happened. So let's go ahead and get it in the air. So that is full rudder activity going on. A little bit of aileron just to slice and dice it up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get it going straight. It's kind of look like it's going to the right a little bit. Get it off safe. It's going up like I thought it would. Remember I mentioned that that angle, it's a bit off. So it's gonna make it hard to fly with it off like that. I might have to do some trimming. It's going up, I need to trim down. And I'm kind of really having a hard time thinking about what to do because, all right, I just gave it some trim. That's a little better. Let's get it back over here. Such a widow guy. We don't want to go too far away from the activity.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
All right, way too high to hover with this little thing, so let's pull out of that. Let's see if I can get it over to us. So yeah, it's leaving me the whole time, but it is hovering pretty good. You know, it does all that stuff. Let's see if it'll tumble. Oh, oh yeah, it'll tumble like nobody's business. That's cool. And the ESC is crying. I guess when I'm on a lot of power, hovering and such, it definitely does the telemetry stuff. That's gonna be good. It is getting windy as we fly, so I feel the difference. But yeah, truly acrobatic. You can do all the stuff you want to do. And I think the biggest thing is I'm not going to probably have much more video of this because I'm actually going to be banging it at the house, you know, like really enjoying it. Like this is all with no worries, out of safe, you know. So if I'm out of here, I lose my, I don't even have nothing. My hands off the sticks right now. So I'm in trouble, flip it on safe and bloop. Get it back where I'm going. And this is where it's really good to have safe in a plane like this, that you do stuff like you would say, let's say dumb things that you wouldn't do any other time. You can pop that safe on and like that, boom, safe back on, boop, aircraft recovered.
ESC 7.1.
And I was going into a decent little hover there and the wind kind of just took control. I don't even know, I can't even figure which way it's coming right now because the socks are down.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is fun. So as customary, I'm gonna go ahead and put it down. I don't know which way the wind is coming. It's weird, so I'm gonna just kind of come in. I think it's coming to my back, to be honest with you.
To your face now. To my face? Wow, okay. Just go ahead and see if I can land it for you guys. Or maybe even do a touch and go so you can see those little wheels doing their thing.
Such a little baby.
I mean, it's so
ESC
cool.
7.18 volts.
So I'm gonna get, as customary, get the battery charge again. Try to get Mr. Larry on a flight. And then we got a real 3D expert here on site. So I'm gonna try to get Mr. Eddie to fly it too, just so he could give his 3D guy inputs on it. So, Pooley out. See you in a minute. All right, folks, this is Eratix. We're on the runway again. We got a seasoned 3D pilot, Mr. Eddie. Y'all haven't seen him in a while. He's coming out of retirement.
Wow, so slow too.
Isn't that?
Like it.
So you have plenty of power, but you can go really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I film him, it's usually sporadic like that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's perfect. So compared to my hover, obviously you guys should see a difference.
A little bit of a wind pushing us away.
Yeah, it is starting to come across our shoulder here.
I think it's a little tail heavy.
Okay, we could definitely move that battery. I moved it back a half an inch.
Yeah, look at that.
Or it might just be out of trim.
Feels good on the.
What's that called?
That's just like a 3D turnaround.
I don't know if you guys got a similar situation, but at our field, everybody has their own little things, the planes they like to fly, this and that. Mr. Eddie is the kind of guy who comes out with one plane, maybe two, and 60 batteries. So you got to fight to get on the runway when he's here because he's going to get his money's worth for his trip to the field. Look at that, folks. So this thing is capable. I mean, my skill level might not be there, but the plane is.
We got a gentle wind.
We do have a wind pushing us, so, you know, he's fighting that the whole time. Yeah, you can see that when it's kind of going left all the time.
7.16 volts.
It's pretty cool. This is awesome.
For such a dinky thing, it's pretty capable. I'm surprised. So, folks, I know y'all heard the telemetry. So it works excellent on this bird. When he's deep into the power, he lowered the battery to the point where it gave a warning, but it went away. So that means you still got plenty of juice until it comes back. Well, that's part of 3D. I mean, if you're not gonna get close calls, you're not doing it. A lag?
Yeah, it's going. It's like not. It doesn't have a lot of punch in the middle.
Okay.
You kind of get way up there to get pull out of trouble. So
Yeah, you got to get a lot of RPMs going. Maybe they might have.
I was trying to do a little roll the Harrier action into the wind.
Yeah, because that's the way.
Spot on this baby, though. It's cool.
ESC 6.99 volts.
Awesome.
You got a land?
Yeah, whenever you. Well, the telemetry ain't like really crying.
It didn't too good. You see the timer.
Yeah, there is a timer for 5 minutes, but she's only cried a couple of times when you're deep into the throttle. So I think the battery still, you know, go a couple of passes or something.
That's awesome. It's such a tiny little bird.
ESC 7.14 volts.
I never bothered with the Twisted Hobby ones that were this small because I heard they're kind of like a handful.
Yeah, well, the one I got from you in my very early days, I still fly it. And man, I'm hovering that thing pretty good.
Like this
Oh, they're smaller than that. Okay, I didn't know they had any.
7.17
Yeah, they make some that are tiny like this.
Nice gentle landing, touch and go.
ESC
All right, she's starting to cry, so maybe we bring her in. So you could set your timer, folks, or you could
30
just
seconds.
really rely on the telemetry, which I never do. But in this case, I might. I might start to do it for this bird because it's so flawless. So, all right, Mr. Eddie. So what you think about it?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So it
Especially,
was,
I mean, we got a gentle little breeze today, and it handled it all right.
I think it's probably about 3 to 5, right? Max wind? Yeah, so I think if you're above 3 to 5, folks, like you saw me at the house yesterday, yeah, probably don't fly. That was like a 13-mile-an-hour wind yesterday. But in 3 to 5s, it still flies outside pretty good. What about, you mentioned the mid-range capability. It's a little bit saggy in the middle.
It feels a little, yeah. It almost feels like there's a throttle curve on it that's real flat in the middle. I don't know
Yeah.
if they do have that in there. I don't, you know, I have no clue.
I don't think they
Range,
do.
but it just feels. It just doesn't have the kind of punch I'm used to with my, you know what I mean, with what I got.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I think my planes are way more aggressive. But,
Yes, of course. Well, maybe they'll make
when
more
you hit
props
it
for it.
moves, though. But and also too, I'm not used to this controller, so.
Yeah. You know, it's just a matter of me
Pretty
just
good.
throwing it in your
I mean,
hand.
it's a bunch of stuff I've never used before, and it you can see it did all right.
Yeah, you did your normal little routine. So, all right, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the flight.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, one more expert pilot, Mr. Pooley.
Expert crashing maybe.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens. So whenever I do get something of my own, I always try to give you guys a couple of flights, not just my novice opinion. I get you some expert flyers, whoever might be at the field. Mr. Paulie's always at the field. He loves this stuff. He lives it. So he's so graceful with it. Usually he's this really abrupt, crazy pilot, and now he's so graceful. It's like almost like a script.
I'm learning right now.
he's in his learning phase, folks. So it's getting dim out here. That's one problem with today. We do have a good day, but it's dim. Overcast. When you have a good wind like we have right now, you could just have fun practicing your hovering by hovering into the wind like that. It takes almost as much skill as doing a straight up hover, which you can't really do during a windy day because it just blows straight away. But still cool, still fun.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
I'm usually looking down on a plane.
Yeah. The views you don't normally see of the Eratix. $3D coming at you. $3D literally. So it looks like it's very well handled. It's controlled easily.
Yeah, too much wind for it.
Too much wind for it, but it's pretty tame. And I fly it in my neighborhood, so that was my purpose of getting it. And I think it's going to be a good player for that. I'm sure I'm going to crash it up quite a bit, but it is what it is.
Time to land.
Yeah, you could land. That's good enough. It has a telemetry that'll start crying, which hadn't happened, but that's fine. Just go ahead and bring it in. That's plenty of time for them to see the characteristics of this bird, and it's pretty cool.
Time remaining 1 minute.
So one thing I can definitely say about it, compared to the bigger Eratix, not the full-size one, but like the foamy one, it lands kind of easy. All right, I went to the battery voltage alarm, and we're almost at 3.8, so, you know, yeah, pretty good.
So I'm doing some final touches. I remember when I set up the UMX Crescendo, there's a detailed instruction on how to do, and I think these blocks are the same. So I was looking at it, I was like, man, it looks exactly the same, got to be the same. So on the Crescendo, you can do like a flaperon, spoileron kind of deal. So I decided to try that out. But it's not in the instructions for the Eratix, so you won't find it in your book. I went through the whole book. I was like, it's not in here. So I had to go search for the book. And I actually couldn't find it. So I went and downloaded it right fast just to catch the directions for that, for the UMX Crescendo. And basically it covers it very easily, right? All you do is you go into your radio under model setup. You go to aircraft type. You're going to turn off the RF. And you want to select one aileron, one flap. Then from there, you go to your, it's going to be a hold, obviously. You push these sticks, one up on that side. So right stick up, left stick down, and left. And you're in this configuration. And then you flip your switch that you got assigned to save for your flight modes, AS3X and whatever. And once you do that, it says do it 5 times. But when I was doing it 5 times, I think I was cutting it on and cutting it back off again. I slowly did it until I heard the thing like make a little beep. And once it makes a little beep, you stop. I don't want to do it again because, you know, it's going to be different for yours. Just basically put these sticks up and start flipping the switch that you have assigned. Yours is probably going to be the gear switch, unless you just hate the fact that they do that like me. And I reassigned it to this switch here with this boot. That's what I use for safe for everything else. I despise that being on the gear switch, because what about when you have an aircraft with gear? That doesn't make sense. So anyway, you put the sticks up and out, and you toggle that switch until you hear, and you're going to see this light do a little change. And then once you stop flipping, you'll see the tail section go ch-ch. You know what? I'm going to sacrifice this setup that's already good to see if I can do it for you. But I don't have an extra hand at the moment. Let me see if I can rig something up. So I'm going to try to do it like this where you can see everything. So I got my sticks down, and I'm going to flip it. 1, 2. Now you see it started doing something, and I just stop at that point and it started doing all kind of little twitching, right? So I'm gonna push it back down. My safe mode is still active. My other activity is active, and then, you know, 2 activities right there. Basically, I assigned after that. That was your movement, so I can get off of that. I can get back to the radio. So at that point, you already selected an aileron and a flap, right? So then you'll go into your model adjust, which is the left menu right here. I'm sorry, I was kind of covering it. Right here, model adjust. And then you're going to go to flap system, because flap system wasn't there before, now it is. By you selecting one aileron, one flap. So now I've set my flaps how I want them. And I didn't try it yet, so I'm going to try it with you guys on a video. But I went 100%, negative 100, which puts me in flap mode. So I assigned it to, as a matter of fact, I assigned it to, and you know, this is just... Really, this is switch D, which is what I use for flaps anyway. I'm just playing at this point, so, you know, hey, come along for the ride. So basically, when I flip the switch, and nothing's happening, because I ended up changing it again. So let me go back into this thing. So now I don't have it, right? So that was me turning it off, so now I got to turn it back on. Hang on. See, it's doing a switch once I let go of everything. So now I'm going to go back into safe mode. Yep, that was it. I turned it off when I showed you guys, so now I turned it back on. So when I give myself 1 click of flaps, it's going to be like flaps. And then I just got it to 100%, so it's like the most it can go. And then I still got some control, right, with my ailerons. And then I wanted to try the spoileron, so I put the third position in full up spoilerons. And then I added some elevator to that too. So this will be interesting to try. You know, I could just do a real slow flight and then try it and put it down and try it and put it down. You had a little damage right there. I hit a fence earlier. I hit a fence square dead on right here, really hard. And yeah, didn't damage. It spun around and I think it hit right here and flew the prop off, but that's it. So I thought it would be a lot more delicate than that. But anyway, until we meet again tomorrow, flying this thing with spoilerons and flaperons to see which one works best or which one's cooler, blah, blah, blah. See you then. Pooley out. All right, people. We have the two settings set up. I got straight up, which is nothing. Then I got full flaps down with my, getting caught on my jacket, with my ailerons working. Then I got my third position, which would be spoilerons, with my ailerons working. All right, I'm gonna take off in nothing. This is not the factory battery, this is slightly heavier. So I don't know what that's gonna do for CG, but all right. Oh, and I went straight into a tree. I looked down for the video, and before I knew it, I was all the way over there. So we're gonna try that again. I cut power and probably zero chances of anything being messed up, but we're gonna try that again. All right. All right, so she's up and I'm gonna click it. Not much straight run for me to get a full good look at what happens. All right, so it went straight up. All right, I turned it off and I'm able to get back into normal flight. So I'm gonna come back around. I have no clue where the wind's going right now because, all right, put it down for a nice little soft landing. So it went straight up, so I'm gonna go to my flap system. I probably could have put this on OTF, but you know, I didn't worry about it because I have 15% down in that number one position. So it went straight up. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to something incredibly larger. Let's go to 30. All right, let's try that. And I'm gonna just leave it open on the menu. I don't have a clue where the wind's coming from, so I'm gonna just kind of winging it at this point. I'm caught in a crack. Let me just take off this way because I'm sure it'll be no problem. All right, yanked up, and I'm gonna get straight. And yeah, it's still going up quite a bit, but it's flyable. All right, when I flipped it into spoilerons right there, it went straight down. So I'm gonna go ahead and come in. All right. So I still need more, so I'm gonna go to 40. And all right, I'm actually pretty nervous because I don't really, this is not a normal, you guys follow a lot of my videos. All right, I'm gonna get it right here and that way down, and it seems to be a lot better. Yeah, it's still maybe going up a little bit, but it slows down significantly when it's doing it. And it looks cool too. So this is a worthy thing to do, but it's not going up anymore. That's the main thing. So that's hands off the sticks. Probably need to give it some trim to, because it's going, which may be a weight thing, because this thing is so detrimental on weight that you can't be off much with your battery being on the side like that. And you give it a lot of throttle, and it's still going to want to go up, but if you give it the right amount, you're cruising pretty straight. Yeah. I don't know if I'm getting all this on video, but I'm gonna flip it down. Well, you know what? Let's see. Yeah, it like dives. As soon as I go into spoilerons, it dives straight down. Oh, and I nosed it over, foolishly enough. Go ahead and flip everything up. All right, so get out of this battery voltage. I'm gonna click that 40 is okay for that. I'm at a -15 for the spoilers, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to -40, because that's where we are with the flaps. So let's try that on spoilers. All right, go all the way down to my 3rd position, and it's still going down incredibly fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that to 50. It's less than it was before, so let's go to 60 even. All right, take off. Yeah, it won't even let me take off. All right, all the way down to spoilers. Yeah, still giving me quite a bit of down, but it does work. And it gives you a cool little attitude of the plane. Like the control surface. Oh, that's my my low voltage. So I'm gonna get another battery. All right, we got another battery. This is the factory battery. Let's see if it flies any better. Those are so expensive though. It does fly a little bit better. And that's with nothing on. So I'm gonna go ahead and, it doesn't seem like I need any amount of adjustment as far as the elevator goes with this mode. Maybe a little bit, yeah, maybe a little bit more power, because I usually, when I'm flying here in front of the house, I'm not really on a lot of power. So I'm gonna flip it down to flaps, and you saw it did like a weird like drop down. And as long as I keep the right amount of power, it's doing pretty good. I could probably add more, but it's kind of like a lot of up and down. It is windy for this little thing overall. But yeah, so much cooler to have an extra feature that you didn't really kind of know you had, thanks to the Crescendo. The only reason why I know about it. But look at that, I'm off the throttle. I got to give rudder, which is sometimes, well, didn't want to give me any rudder turn there, because I guess this is a good little breezeway, and it was kind of fighting against my movement. So I went ahead and put it down in the grass. Put that flap up. Let's see if I can take off again. Yeah, this thing flies so cool. Really, very. I'll flip it down to that. Get it up a little higher first. And you see I'm in a very tight little alleyway to fly in. So I'm gonna get it up. Yeah, about that height. And a car's coming, so I'm instantly afraid that I'm gonna end up in something with them. So I'm gonna go around again. All right, and back here. And I'm gonna try to get it coming back this way and put on those spoilers. All right, and you saw the spoiler change the attitude of the plane. I hope that came on the video. And I probably could add some more, because the spoilers are kind of causing you to land. So let me, that is 60. Let's go to 70. I don't know, like at this point you're probably going way too much to be right for flight characteristics, but we're playing, right? Get it out of there so I can take off, because it won't allow you to take off too good with the spoilers on. And there's our normal flight characteristics. And spoilers on. Yeah, it's still kind of, lunges to the ground. I guess I'm going to have to do some really good planning on that setting to get it just right, but it's better than it was before, and it's flying, which is what's important, So I'm going to click everything off, and then you see the bird kind of level out and look purdy and fly so straight at this point. So yeah, I could probably do a lot more adjustments on that. Maybe a trip to the field on a day when it's early in the morning and it's not windy yet, and get this thing just right, and then after that just enjoy it because the settings will be locked in. And but it's so cool, man. Boom, clip on the flaps and it goes up, drop the power down. But look how slow you can go with those flaps on. I think the flaps are the one I'm going to use, and the spoilers will just be for showing off purposes, really, because look how cool the flaps do. Look at that, people. This is going to be fun. I can fly outside my house, folks. I can fly outside my house. This is cool. Alright, that's enough of that. You kind of see what I want to see. Now I can go ahead and put this video out, which has been delayed because we've been having so much weather. But I'm having so much fun flying it. I don't guess you guys need to see any more flying, so I'm going to go ahead and lower that. Oh, and I popped the prop off, not paying attention, ran in my mouth, and came down on a really hard landing compared to what I normally get with it. It lands so gentle, you really don't have much worry with this thing. I never tried to take off with the Flaperons. I mean, that's going to be cool, right? So this is how your prop goes on. I think I'm on camera. You get it lined up and you quarter turn, and that's it. I think I broke the front of the wheel pant off again on that landing perhaps. So I'm going to leave the Flaperons down. Wow, it lifted up by itself. No aileron, no elevator needed with the Flaperons down. I did it again. It's a little bit harder to land with the Flaperons on because it's a little bit stally in flight. Yeah, there's that wheel pant I was speaking of. Ultimately, I'm gonna end up with no wheel pants because on the big Ultrix, yeah, that's crazy. It actually completely takes off by itself with the Flaperons down. So let's see if I can lower the throttle. Yeah, you can get used to it. It doesn't land like it does without the Flaperons on, or take off for that matter, but you can get used to what they do and lower the throttle. Oh, and that time I completely ran into the curb, but it's all in part of, cut on a piece of grass. Yeah, you don't even need to do anything. You could be one-handed and just kind of take that thing off like that. And so awesome. Alright, turn those flaps off. I see a car coming this way, so I'm going to go ahead and get it down, and that's it, man. Pooley out. Thanks for watching, people.